We're at a point now, and I'm sure a lot of people are feeling this way about this whole Microsoft Activision deal, and it looks like it is 100% official. And man, what a great time, right? Like, Microsoft has had a bang up of a year, and not only have they had a bang up of a year, but you know, people are starting to respect, I think, Xbox a lot more and understand that, hey, not only are they respecting them a lot more, they are actually kind of going and actively buying Xbox and supporting Xbox, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So this news comes way of The Verge. They actually have a scoop. We knew that the deal was supposed to be closed by the 17th, and it looks like they're going to close on Friday the 13th. Ooh, right, in the month of October. So that's pretty crazy when you think about it. Microsoft is planning to finalize its $68.7 billion proposal of Activision Blizzard next week. A source familiar with Microsoft plans tells The Verge that the company is eyeing up Friday, October 13th as the closing date, where it announces to the world that the 20-month process to buy Call of Duty maker Activision Blizzard is over. That date will still depend on the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, though, a regulator that blocked Microsoft's deal earlier this year. Microsoft recently restructured a deal to transfer cloud gaming rights for current and new Activision Blizzard games to Ubisoft, and the Xbox maker secured preliminary approval from the CMA late last month as a result of this. Now, the CMA has a deadline that expires today on gathering opinions over whether it should grant consent to Microsoft and proceed with the merger. Now, a final decision from the CMA is expected next week, and barring any last-second surprise, should allow Microsoft to close the deal. Microsoft and Activision extended their deal deadline to October 18th recently, but if Microsoft is able to close its deal next week, then it would bring to a close a 20-month process of regulator approval and battles across Europe and the US a little earlier than expected. Earlier this year, the CMA blocked the deal in the UK over cloud concerns, idiotically of course, just weeks before the EU approved the deal with important cloud concessions from Microsoft. The regulatory battles in Europe came months after the FTC initially sued to block the Activision Blizzard acquisition in the US last year. The FTC then failed to secure an injunction to block Microsoft from finalizing its Activision Blizzard acquisition, part of a grueling 5 days of evidence and testimony in July. But it was absolutely freaking hilarious testimony because we found out so many different things and got an inside look at video gaming in general, which I thought was worth its weight in gold. So fascinating to kind of go in there and look at these things. So nice to see that happening when everything sort of is coming to an end. FTC is still appealing the outcome of the hearing with its Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and the decision is due in early December. The FTC is also planning to resume its own administrative case against Microsoft's proposed acquisition, and the administrative case will commence 21 days after the Ninth Circuit rules on the FTC appeal, with the hearing held virtually. The FTC could attempt to undo Microsoft's deal, assuming it closes on time, but it would face an unprecedented uphill battle, and they've already lost and got completely embarrassed multiple times. So when you look at that and you kind of look at what's going on with Microsoft, I think it's pretty safe to say and pretty clear to say that Microsoft is finally going to go ahead and be able to end this whole ordeal after almost 2 years, which is pretty significant if you ask me. And again, Microsoft has come a very long way, and to believe that Microsoft would own games like Diablo, Call of Duty, Rock Band, Tony Hawk's Skater, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, you know, it's just absolutely fascinating to me. And again, just goes to show you that, you know, they're in this for the long haul. You know, no matter what people might try to say, no matter what people might try to kind of swerve other people's opinions about, look, there's always going to be these haters, these ignorant people that want you to doubt Microsoft, that want you to think, oh, Microsoft's going to quit gaming, they're going to quit this, they're going to do that, they're going to do that, you know, all this nonsense. But at the end of the day, you don't do all of this stuff, right, if you're planning on quitting or, you know, something along those lines. So I think that what's going on here is we're starting to see Microsoft and their idea come to fruition with exactly what we've been wanting to see from them for the very longest time, which is be able to battle and go back against Microsoft. So yeah, nice to see things kind of go in Xbox's favor for a change. And, you know, at the end of the day, Microsoft really has come an extremely long way. You know, I hope that we see, Microsoft continue to do these things in the future, where they make sure that, you know, Xbox is going to be competitive and stay competitive in the gaming space, because this is what they need to do. You know, it's like, it's easy for people to go, okay, well, Microsoft, they kind of bought their way in or whatever. There's always going to be something, and if you don't believe that, right, then I have a bridge I want to sell you, right? Because people are always going to find something to fight and hate on Xbox about, right? And this should come as no surprise, right? Look at this. People said Xbox had no games. They've literally released back-to-back games, both of them in the mid-80s on Metacritic, which is incredibly great scores, big AAA releases, and yet people are trying to downplay 85s, right? Like, how can you even do that? How can anybody with a straight face say, oh, that's bad, or we expected better, or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, these games, and if you do try to say that, mind you, you're a complete moron, for one. And for two, that really opens up a rabbit hole for PlayStation exclusives, because there's a lot of them in the low to mid 80s, including stuff like Ghost of Tsushima, which for me personally, I like that game. It's an 83 on Metacritic, right? So if you think that that's a bad score, or if you think Xbox games getting an 85 or 84 is a bad score, then, I mean, what do you think about that? You know, if you think, like somebody brought up this quote-unquote Game Pass effect, right? And they go, oh, well, it's a Game Pass effect, you know, low quality, blah, blah, blah. If there was low quality Xbox games or what have you, and that's a Game Pass effect, they aren't really thinking clearly. In the last 3+ years, Microsoft has really only released one stinker, one poorly reviewed game, and that would be Redfall. As you know, it's the outlier. Everything else, like, I could go down the list. You know, Forza Motorsport, 85. Starfield, 84. You can look into Pentiment, even though it's not AAA, 86. Grounded, 83. Ghostwire Tokyo on Xbox, 83. Deathloop, 88. You know, the list goes on and on. Forza Horizon 5, 92. Halo Infinite, 87. Gears of War Tactics, 83. Age of Empires 4 on Xbox, 81. You know, it's honestly, the list goes on, and I'm not even counting like the remakes and stuff, or the remasters of like Doom and GoldenEye that scored incredibly well as well. So Hi-Fi Rush, 88. You know, this is incredible stuff that they're doing, and in a gaming service. That's, I think, the big thing. So you know, yeah, nice to see Microsoft putting forth such an effort, and for everybody to be kind of on board with what they're doing. You absolutely love to see this. I know I do. What are you guys going to do? What are you going to play when they start adding all these Call of Duty games? So let me know what y'all think. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys all have a great day. I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews. Have a great day. Rack 'em up. Fact 'em up. As always, Crap Gamer 'em up. I told you guys, man, my faith did not waver on this. It did not. Xbox is the best box. Crap Gamer out.